So, so when the banks speaking about the core modernization, they are, I think, always thinking about replacing the bank, replace the core banking system. So our story is completely different, and we would like to modernize our core banking system without disrupting the bank and be on the continuous development to meet the business requirement, regulatory and legislative changes. You know, you are from the bank, you always know that it has to be necessary to meet this expectation. You can't stop the bank because you are replacing core banking system. It was story in the past that the core banking system were changed. We were so lucky that we have the Hogan, because Hogan even is heavily customized, is able to be upgraded. And I will speak, and with my colleagues Juraj later on, how we are doing. Maybe for introducing us, we are not small bank. We are second largest bank in Slovakia. We are serving retail, corporate, even municipalities and government customer. And those products are like not only the accounts, loan, we are also doing the wealth management, the treasury, trade finance, and even, for example, state treasury as a customer, we are emulating them as a bank. They are directly connected to our host. We are connection host to host, and they are like the bank, but on our infrastructure. So we have all of these customers, and the VUB is really a huge bank with wide of the product we are serving. And also we have, because we were established as a previous state bank, and after finishing of communism, we inherit lots of legacy, not only the IT architecture, but also the product, and we are able to serving them. And also we are part of the Intesa Sanpaolo group, which is an Italian and huge European bank. And we have really strong IT capabilities, and we are doing in-house development. We have vendors, and all of type of the ITs we are having in the bank. So I'm Vladimira or Vladka, as Brett said. This is Juraj, our IT architect, and he will continue, and then I will continue too, please.
Okay, so my name is Juraj. I'm an architect in Vladka's core banking department. Maybe before giving back the word back to Vladka to talk about Hogan itself, let me maybe summarize some strategic points and principles which we take to keep the dinosaur, the mainframe Hogan system, survive in the current world. So I suppose many of you has faced problems, disruptions, and failures when upgrading core banking systems. So to avoid that, we are trying to do evolution rather than revolution, to do gradual changes instead of really radical changes. And of course, evolution, in spite of that, it seems to be contradicting to the word revolution. Some revolutionary changes may be part of evolution. Evolution covers all that changes, and simply you have to reflect the context, the world around you, to somehow adapt to the changes. So what we faced when discussing any changes, either core banking replacement changes, we were usually presented with various feasibility studies from external parties, consultants, etc. And what we found out is that the bank itself is the best position to tell what is the best for her IT landscape, architecture, etc. Because usually the full context of such changes is not taken into account when anybody assesses that outside the bank. And usually what is overlooked are not the typical things like cost, time, resources, but usually it's more than that. After such changes are implemented, you usually have another changes in processes, some long-term maintenance. And sometimes the project is so long that you have even some lost opportunities. This opportunity cost is very important because business has to stop thinking about new products during some time. And this is usually not taken into account, and we have to somehow still support the business during such projects, either with regulatory or business changes, which usually stop when doing radical changes. So our approach is evolution rather than revolution, and as the evolution says, the success belongs to those who are most adaptable rather than the strongest or even smartest ones. And the modernization principle is gradual changes, modular changes, and when something needs to be really decoupled from the core banking system, then it's better to do it step by step rather than changing the whole system. And I like the analogy for the evolution. If we take that core banking is a kind of dinosaur, and the new challenges are an asteroid targeting them, then what happens? If you know where are the dinosaurs now, actually it's birds. And birds are everywhere. So we hope that by evolutionary changes, we will simply change our system to something new, which is still usable in the current world. So that's basically the strategy. And before giving the word back to Vladka, let me highlight this high-level architecture where our Hogan is positioned. It's within backends and core services, serving especially customer deposits, lending, and payment domains. And what is important is that we have really in-house development during that, and quite good experts in developing and changing the systems, customizing it. And one of the modules mentioned there, especially for payments, has been in-house developed and cooperating with the rest of the Hogan subsystem. And of course, it has also some supporting modules, especially for integrations. And the ongoing projects which are currently underway prove that such system can still support business in spite of its age and its architecture on mainframe. So that's it. So thank you, and I'm giving word back to Vladka to talk about.
So this is the next slide. So as Brad mentioned, our main core banking system is a Hogan. Hogan is on the mainframe and is legacy system, but this is how it works. And in VUB Bank, it has never this is never been our limitation. We are able to doing the own development, never stop us. We are able to meet the expectation from all the parts which we are serving, and even we are able to doing the upgrade. Have you ever could you imagine that you are able to do the upgrade of the 30-year system, which is heavily customized? We are able, in cooperation with DXC and with their product Hogan. As Brett mentioned, they are doing innovation still on that product. That's why we are able to benefiting on this cooperation. Is not commercial, it is reality. So what we are doing now, we did the upgrade of the umbrella. This is the technical layer. Maybe you don't know what does it mean, but this layer is cooperating with operating system. Our operating system is a mainframe from IBM, so we did it successfully. Now we are continuing with the upgrading of the application itself. On the mainframe in the Hogan, we have accounts, a term deposit statement, and the loans. So this year, we will have it, the last version of this application, after 30 years of the development, without any changes of upgrading. So, like, you can imagine that you will do the huge step. It's not easy. But this upgrading is not stop us, which is most important thing, to do the business requirement, do the development on this, to the regulatory. You know, we are under European Union regulatory. There is lots of changes, especially on the payments. I think they love changing payments. It's like the payments in the bank, I think they are fintech, because we are changing every year something. And you know, I call the payment is not payment, it's message, because you know the message has 10 seconds to be applied everywhere, and also in the front end in the customer. So this is very difficult, but we are able during this upgrade to do and meet this expectation, and doesn't limit us. So this is not only about our core banking, is not only about the Hogan. We are able, this Hogan is fully integrated, even from the beginning. And the Hogan is modular since beginning. Like now, the other core banking system are doing modular system, and they're building the APIs. Hogan is since beginning modular and fully integrated. So we are continuing with the modernization, and we are also doing the decoupling, because some functionality we are able to decouple, and doesn't make sense that everything we will have in the one system, because if you have a huge system, all changes will be very difficult in the future. So we are trying to transform our bank also for the future, not meeting the project expectation. Like Juraj said, sometimes is that the project will finish, and who will be operate, how will be able in the future with even the newest core banking meet the expectation of the customers or the business or from the regulators. So we decided to do this decoupling way. For example, we have payments outside of a Hogan. Part is still on Hogan. We are doing iteratively. So we're planning the statement, collaterals. We are also serving the wealth management in the bank. So with full range of the product portfolio. And we are doing this step by step, and this is working. It's not so easy. If we are doing it without huge consultancy companies and without this huge, nice presentation. Even we are Italian bank, and how it looks like is important, so the layout, we have to use it. But in cooperation with the partners, with DXC. And honestly, I would like to say, I wasn't there, but 30 years ago, bank decided to have Hogan, and so we are so lucky. I know that this way is not usual or possible in all core banking system, because some of them, for example, I have heard in discussion, they're using ACE 400 or the others. So maybe they are not able to be upgraded. But we are, and we are continuing. And as I heard that the DXC is doing another innovation, and if we are, I'm hearing about the AI, agentic AI, or somebody will replace my developers, I will be so happy if it will be possible on the core banking without the disruption of the bank. So we are not against, we are waiting from IBM or from somebody else, Anthropic, yes. But in this moment, this is our way, and we are doing like this. Next slide, please. So this is key point, our presentation. So strong core is an asset for us. So I think we are working on it in cooperation with our partners. You know, why to change it? Okay. And is it stable? We are able to do the evolution, so evolve and innovating the system. And since beginning, as I said, is a modern integrated system. I never saw that somebody will tell me that, yeah, this is not able to be integrated. Yes, we are. And I think the bank is in the best position to own strategy of the modernization of their core banking system. I know that the consultancy company can bring us the market approach. The vendors can bring us the knowledge about the product itself. But bank has to own this process, and this is the best way how to do it. So this is our VUB approach, and thanks a lot. This is everything from our side.
So, Vladka, I think we're going to have a family discussion because I have images of Jurassic Park in my head now because I just got referred to as a dinosaur by your colleague. But all jokes aside, thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Thanks a lot. Right?
Any questions real quick? Yes, please.
Thanks for the really realistic view how you do it in a bank. My question is as follows. So when you're doing this big modernization project, it's probably the best time to also make sure that you up to date with your business processes, because what we've been doing as a bank, doing loans and everything 30 years ago, 40 years ago, is slightly different today.
Yeah.
And in whole your talk, I maybe missed the part how you ensure that your modernization is on par with the up-to-date current business processes, and the cycles of your implementation gives you also necessary resilience to modernize processes and apply them throughout as the changes basically enforced by European Union, etc.
So we never stopped to do the development on the core banking system. So we are doing the upgrade and modernization, and while this, we are always doing development. So if the changes come up, we are including to the upgrade. So it's hand in hand. It's not the process that we are doing modernization and then we will do something. We are doing through this process everything. From the developer point of view, we are doing retrofitting this new code to this new version of the application. So it's planned like this, because you can't divide it. How we will do it? This is the one thing is still not mentioned in these feasibility studies, that this is the missing opportunity. We can't miss opportunity. So that's why we decided to in this way. And on the other hand, we saw some example in the bank, also in Slovakia. They decided to change the core banking, and they were not able to meet the business expectation. They stopped, they freeze the bank, if I can say, because of this.